Alright guys, in this video I'm going to go through and discuss the homework problems. What I would stress here is to look back on page 5. Okay, I'm looking at the key here on page 5, and we have all the answers to these. Okay, you have the key as well, it's on Edmodo. But the reason why I want to look at the key is I want to make this as painless as possible. So I want you guys to be thinking about similarities of things. Okay, if we look at the first one on the homework, by the way, homework is on page 21. Page 21. 21, yeah, page 21. It's a card game, yeah. Also a movie about math. Fantastic! Sorry. Alright, so if we look at B1, y equals 3x plus 7. Alright, let's think about this. Which of these questions from the initial set of problems that we did in class matches B1a? Well, clearly it's the linear equation, which we said is no symmetry. Remember, when we talked about symmetry, we said that any sort of, if it's a line and you're shifting it up or down, it's going to lose its symmetry with the origin, and that's the only thing that would possibly be true. So this one should have no symmetry, just like this one has no symmetry. And look at that, no symmetry. So, look at the next one. Again, this is x squared. So, remember what we said, if you look back on the very first question that we approached, it has x squared. We said if it has the even exponent, it's going to be symmetrical with the y-axis. And look, symmetrical with the y-axis. Makes perfect sense. Alright, if we look at letter C, now look, 3, this is cubed. And also note that if it doesn't have an exponent, that means the exponent is 1. So 3 and 1, if they're both odd, the function probably has symmetry with what? Odd, think O, origin. So look, symmetry with the origin. In very much the same way that in letter C here, it was odd, and so it's symmetry with the origin. Okay, if you look at letter D, now you have the y squared. Okay, remember if we said we square something, it's the opposite that it has symmetry with. So if it's y squared, it's going to be symmetrical with the x-axis. And look, just like in this one, it was the x-axis, and the problems that we did in class, here it is as well. So x-axis. Okay. So if you're noticing these trends, these problems are actually pretty easy. Letter E, look, same thing. You're shifting the function to the right. This 3x minus 2 means you have a shifting to the right. May not be 100% accurate to say you shift to the right 2, but you know you're shifting to the right because it's negative something. Okay. Well, that's very similar to letter E, which we said has no symmetry. Because if you're shifting it off of the origin, then it's probably going to lose its symmetry with everything. So this should be no symmetry. Okay? If we look at letter F, letter F is basically like E because you have the function and you're inside the function, you're doing some sort of shifting. So this is minus 1, so there's some sort of shifting again to the right. Now look, what does that mean? It has, well, they're saying it has symmetry with the y-axis. That's actually incorrect. This is wrong. So note the error in the key. This should be none. No symmetry at all. Okay? Because if you have that shifting, it's going to lose its symmetry. Cool. However, in G is just like F here, y-axis. So here, I'm sorry, it's the absolute value of y, so it should be symmetrical with the x-axis. Note originally it was the absolute value of x, which was symmetrical with the y-axis. Okay? So, but again, the point is that it's just absolute value by itself as opposed to here where you have minus 1. This is just absolute value. And if you have just absolute value of a letter, whatever it is of the letter is the opposite. So here's the absolute value of y, x-axis symmetry. Over here originally we had absolute value of x, which is symmetry with the y-axis. Okay, last one. I want you to note that the 6 is actually what? 6x to the 0 because x to the 0 is 1. And since we have everything even, the function should be even and symmetrical with the y-axis. Boom. Symmetrical with the y-axis. So if you've gone through and you've watched all these videos, you should very easily be able to deduce what the functions are. Okay. Now with this homework, I didn't even really have to do the negative test, making x and y negative. But you could, and you would get the correct answer. A little bit of thinking really helps you to get to the answer more clearly, and really stresses again why math is important and how studying for math is very important. Memorizing rules helps you short term, but long term it really doesn't. If you understand what these graphs look like, if you understand what symmetry is, this becomes very easy to do. So I encourage you to always try to understand why you're doing what you're doing. Why is it the way that it is? Because if you understand the big picture, the small picture is a footnote. Ooh, that sounds deep. All right, see you next time, guys.